see so many people coming from so many places just to see this, my bar mitzvah. But what is a bar mitzvah, really? Well, at the most basic level, the bar mitzvah is the male coming-of-age ceremony in Judaism. Coming-of-age ceremonies are usually old traditions, celebrating a certain person's entrance into manhood or womanhood. A lot of people think that having a bar mitzvah is kind of a pain. But if you saw the coming-of-age ceremonies in other cultures, bar mitzvahs would look pale. In a certain Japanese culture, for example, you must jump into a bath of ice. That probably sucks, but today it might be okay. It's pretty dry. In the Amazon, young men must place their hands into mittens filled with hundreds of bullet ants, whose bite is 20 times more powerful than a wasp's sting. So don't complain about having a bar mitzvah. In fact, bar mitzvahs can actually be interesting. During this year, I learned a lot about bar mitzvahs in general and what it means to have one. When I was younger, more foolish, more naive, I only thought of having a bar mitzvah for the sake of presents. The presents were all that mattered. But when you have to study something for 2 years, it's hard not to start to recognize its beauty. I now realize that I can get much more out of my bar mitzvah than just presents. I can also find spirituality in a religion I once doubted, a new community at a time when I am most disconnected, a meaning where there was once empty space. Yes, over time, this bar mitzvah has come to mean much more than just presents. It now encompasses my life, the lives of those that helped me along the way, and the lives of those that are here to witness it. You. And through learning the meaning of my bar mitzvah, I have also come to learn the meaning of my story and many others like it. For meaning can be found in anything, if only you know how to uncover it. Something that I have found a lot of meaning in is music. Whenever I play an instrument or listen to my favorite song, I get a surge of feeling. If there's anything that represents meaning to me, it's music. So, for me, the best part of learning my Torah portion was learning how to read true, the tiny symbols around the words in my portion that tell me what notes to sing and when. It was sort of a manifestation of my talents and passions in the Torah, which helped the Torah speak to me as an individual. Now, as a bar mitzvah boy, I can't just read a bunch of Hebrew and call myself a Jewish man. No. I have to tell you what that Hebrew means. Why? Because what's the point of coming to this if you have no idea what's going on? And also because there are life lessons that can be learned from the story. My Torah portion is called Parashat Balach, or the Story of Balach, which tells of a frightened king, a powerful prophet, an angel with a sword, and a donkey. When I first started studying the story of Balach, I could not find any meaning in it. I had to ask a lot of questions and reread the story many times, and at a certain point I almost gave up. However, after lots of hard work, I realized that there is meaning to find, even if it takes a year of study to discover it. So we start off our story with Balak, king of Moab, who wants help defeating the Israelites in their next battle. So he sends messengers to Balaam, a prophet, asking that he curse the Israelites. Balaam is pretty conflicted, because he lives to serve God, but Balak is willing to pay almost anything for help in battle, so he decides to sleep on it. Then, in the night, God comes to Balaam and tells him to go with Balak's messengers, but listen to everything God tells him. So Balaam sets off on his donkey the next day. However, on his way, Balaam and his donkey run into an angel that only the donkey can see. Startled, the donkey stops moving. So Balaam gets ticked off at the donkey and starts beating him before starting along again. But then the angel appears again to the donkey, and this time he steps on Balaam's foot, breaking it. Balaam steams with rage, beating the donkey again, this time even more furiously. Then, farther along, the angel appears a third time, and this time the donkey just sits down. Balaam goes nuclear and starts to beat the mule and yell. Then, however, the angel appears to Balaam, and Balaam begs for forgiveness, realizing his mistake. So Balaam asks, "Should I turn back?" And the angel says, "No, but remember to do only what God tells you." So Balaam, even though he's kind of confused about what the angel was actually trying to accomplish, starts off again. And when he meets with King Balak, Balaam says, "Bring me 7 lambs and 7 bulls to put on 7 altars," and it is done. So Balaam goes to the top of a hill with the altars, and just as he's about to curse the Israelites, God tells him to bless them instead. So Balaam blesses the Israelites, and Balak, realizing what had just happened, becomes furious. he tells Balaam to go to curse the Israelites on a higher mountain, I guess to give the curse more power. It's never really explained. So Balaam goes up again and blesses the Israelites. King Balak is getting impatient and angry, so he demands that Balaam go up to the highest mountain in the area and curse the Israelites. So Balaam goes up to this highest of hills, and just as he had done 2 times before, he blesses the Israelites. King Balak is outraged, but for some reason he does nothing about it, and at the next battle of the Israelites and the Moabites, the Israelites defeat the Moabites. I interpret this story as a tale of loyalty and belief, saying that you should stand by your convictions and never give in. You can come to this conclusion by asking one simple question. What does Balaam actually do throughout the whole story? Well, we can see that the whole story, he repeatedly looks to God for help and always follows his advice. He never listens to Balak without asking God first. In this way, his belief and loyalty to God is a prominent aspect of the story. Even in the section with Balaam's donkey, we see that he tries to interpret God's message and asks God for what to do next. And the whole time, even after Balak's insistence to curse the Israelites, Balaam stands strong by his beliefs. So I believe that the main message to take away from this story is that you should always hold strong to what you think is right. In the story, Balaam's belief is firmly in God, but some people here might not have such an extreme trust and belief in God, and that's okay. But anyway, for some, God might not be an embodiment of truth and justice, so think of God as a metaphor for all your ideals and beliefs. In this example, God can be anything that you can think of that you think is right or true. So instead of thinking of God as God, think about him as Balaam's conscience, or his moral compass. This trait of following your own beliefs has been seen not just in the Bible, but also throughout history. Take, for example, the little-known story of Janusz Korczak. During the Holocaust, Janusz ran an orphanage in Warsaw. Soon, however, the Nazis came and took the entire orphanage to an extermination camp. But they offered Janusz freedom. Janusz, instead of taking his chance to be free, stayed with the orphans at the extermination camp, showing his commitment to what he believed was right. Janusz had given up one of the core principles of humanity, freedom, just to be with the kids that he had taken care of all of his life. He had stood up to the Nazis. Although he died in the extermination camp, he is still remembered for his humanity and his commitment to his beliefs. Janusz, in this story, embodies the lesson that I learned from Balaam's donkey, because in the hardest of times, he found the strength to do the right thing. So when times seem tough and you feel powerless, remember that what you think is right is probably the right thing to do. Okay, it's getting to be the end of the ceremony, so I need to start getting serious. Over time, I've come to realize that having a bar mitzvah isn't just some arbitrary ritual. For me, it has been a learning experience. And what have I learned exactly? Well, now that I'm a man, I'm almost definitely going to be subjected to many different conflicting views on many different subjects. I have learned that I have to hold on to my core beliefs, or else I'll just be a gullible fool with no conviction. So, in life, when you're being subjected to many different views, just remember to hold strong to your beliefs and your values, and everything will straighten itself out. Now for the thank yous. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being amazing parents and for providing me with support all the time throughout my life. You are, without a doubt, the coolest parents I have ever had. And I'm super happy that you put up with me for all these years, despite me being such a pain. I love you, Mom and Dad. Stella, you are amazing, and even though I'm not always the best brother, you are always the best sister. You give me advice when I'm in need, and you are always there to have fun with me when I'm bored. Out of all the people I know, you are the person I try to be the most like, because you are the coolest person ever. I love you, Stella. Grammy and Grandparney, you are awesome grandparents and the most generous people I've ever met. You are so giving and so kind, and I don't know what my life would be like without you. So thank you, Grammy and Grandparney, for being amazing people and better grandparents. Grandma Karen, you are a great grandma, and you can always make me laugh. You are kind, funny, and generous, and you are always there to help when I need you. So thank you, Grandma Karen, for being an awesome grandma. And finally, I would like to thank Ruti. Ruti, you were the best teacher I could ask for. Not only did you help me learn Hebrew, but you also helped me understand it, giving me a whole new perspective on my bar mitzvah. Because of you, I learned to enjoy my bar mitzvah. So for that, I thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy.
Shabbat Shalom.